handing over to our next speaker, I'm really delighted to introduce this company and this person. This company, Alfa Laval, have been a great supporter of ours. They've followed us around the world. They're very generous, and so we really appreciate them being with us here in the first event in APAC, and seeing Karen here as well, who I haven't seen for a while. So it's nice to see you here. So please put your hands together for Holm-Larsen from Alfa Laval. Clicker time.
Thank you, Paul. So it's a pleasure to be here. And we've been following you around from Den Haag through Omaha and now here in beautiful Singapore. Beautiful to be here. Thanks. The title of the presentation here today is From Partnership to Innovation and Process Equipment for Bio-based Industries of the Future. It was conceived so that you would have the opportunity not just to get acquainted with Alfa Laval and our process equipment, but also some faces. And I was going to introduce Francesco Montecchio, who is a sales manager and expert in separation equipment, and also Yiking Young, who is the local representative from Southeast Asia. Of the energy division of Alfa Laval. Unfortunately, Francesco lost his voice, but so you will be subjected to me doing some of his slides. Let's see how that goes. Otherwise, Francesco and Yiking and the rest of the Alfa Laval team will be at the booth number 8. So please come and join us afterwards. So basically, we are talking about partnership in innovation and the process equipment. So I'll start by taking you on a flyby on the Alfa Laval toolbox, and then I'll say something about the approach we take when it comes to supporting innovation with our partners. So speaking about the toolbox, toolboxes can look different ways. First of all, Alfa Laval is a global player. We have 36 major production units worldwide. We are represented with sales companies in about 55 countries, and we have more than 100 service centers around the world. As some of you will know from the pre-event yesterday, there's always also a service center here in Singapore, and I hope you enjoyed the visit yesterday. Also, Alfa Laval comes with this toolbox, which is 140 years of experience in process equipment, 75 years of experience in fermentation. We have more than 4,000 patent families. We have, well, I cannot compete with Brian on this one, but we still have about 22,000 employees worldwide. So it is a major operation, and we have probably the widest program when it comes to heat transfer, separation, and fluid handling of any vendor in the world. So I would run out of time, or you would run out of time and money if you had to try all the combination of Alfa Laval equipment. So this is where the partnership comes into play. Basically, you don't want to have an arbitrary combination of things. You want to do this in an intelligent way. And while you do that, you also have to respect that we're talking about a new type of business. So we're going from the linear value chains, where you start with fossil and you end up with proven materials, to a circular value chain, but you still have to use the existing process equipment, only adapted to the new types of value chain. And the circular value chain is given by certain carbon sources. It's very important for us to adapt to the carbon sources from biomass. We heard about that, but also CO2 captured from emissions and recycled carbon, for instance, for waste. So this has been the challenge that we've spent the last couple of years to figure out. How do we go from fossil to these new types of carbon sources? And you can see here in the right-hand side of the slide these are examples of the equipment that we do have to offer. For heat transfer, many different types of gadgets, over separators, especially centrifuges and decanters, and also thermal separation for evaporation. So, see, what do we bring to bear in terms of helping you guys to have the most efficient and least expensive process plant? Well, we want to go in early. We want to talk to you as soon as possible when it comes to your development of the process technology, so that we can basically find the optimum solutions. So we see the need for joint development, for validation, for testing and piloting, and we can support this. We also want to look at process simplification and cost reduction, and not the least, risk mitigation, which will facilitate your funding. People that has to come with the funds. We heard about PEs, VCs earlier today. They will look at what actually is the equipment that you put into your process as you scale up. And they will want you to select equipment that is known for its reliability. So we're there to do this together with you. So we have this package of unique process equipment, and we have the know-how of how to apply it. We also have a worldwide network. We have a worldwide service function. So once you build the plant, we can actually service the facilities. We can put in recurring service programs and so on and so forth. So you get the whole package. And when it comes to actually validating the technology, we typically start with all our model-based simulation tools. So doesn't matter whether it's mass transfer, heat transfer, fermentation, and so on. We have models for most of those unit operations. Then typically we will go through different types of lab scales. Some of you saw the spin testing equipment yesterday, but it goes much beyond that. And then as you go along, there's also the possibility to rent equipment, real process equipment, to test it off in your facilities. And this means that you make sure that you get the equipment you need. We've seen countless equipment when we come to site just standing idle in the back because equipment was bought that didn't solve the task it was supposed to. So renting an actual machine from us as the first step is the best way to ensure that you get equipment that works for you. So basically, this was the toolbox, the flyby. And then the one last pitch on doing this together. When we do this together, you actually end up with lower cost. You also reduce the risk and you reduce the development time. We've seen many people shop around and in order to save a little bit of money here and there, but time is money. If you want to be first to market, you should respect that has some value, and you shouldn't try to save a little bit of money and then lose months or even years in the process. So this is what we can help you to do. We can also help you avoid binding capital in useless equipment, and we can basically be the reliable partner for you when you raise capital. So brief flyby, and now we're getting into the actual example of what such equipment could look like. And the focus here today is separation. Could have chosen heat transfer, but we chose to look at separation as the example. And the example that I'm going to introduce on behalf of Francesco is the PureFirm 750 N for nozzles. So basically, there we go. This is a machine that can be used both for pre-treatment of feedstock, Could be vegetable oils, could be used cooking oils, it could be sugar and so on and so forth. For that duty, we would use this type of machine for the pre-treatment or the clarification of the flow. And then this is something that we would typically apply in extracellular fermentation processes. And then we could also use this machine downstream, and there we would apply it for biomass removal, cell removal. And so this is basically it. It is the same type of machine. It can be configured differently depending on where in the process we use it. And the machine itself is out there on the right-hand side. You can see the separator, the centrifuge on the right-hand side, and the automation panel on the left-hand side. There we go. All right. So, yeah, the centrifuge, thank you, sir. The centrifuge on the right-hand side and the automation panel on the left. Just a few performance figures from this type of centrifuge. Starting from left to right, we have the capacity range of 30 to 60 cubic meters per hour. So this is a large-scale machine. Then we have the total suspended solid removal up to more than 99%. So very efficient separation. And then we have a product recovery of more than 95%. And we sort of like to stay with these numbers because this is truly extraordinary in terms of what you can find in separators. And even yesterday during the pre-event, I was asked a couple of times, what are the cost drivers? What is it what can we do? What is the CapEx for these types of units? And my answer at the time was that you should not just consider the CapEx. You should consider the total cost of ownership. And this model here in the center of the slide shows an estimated total cost of ownership model for a full-scale lactic acid plant. We have considered 10 years of operation. We have considered this PureFirm 750N to replace or instead of alternative technology. And what we can see comparing to other technologies out there is that we get a 3% higher yield. So the 3% higher yield is one of the determining factors. And then going through the figure at the horizontal axis, you can see we have the CapEx elements, we have the equipment and the installation, very small blimps on the cost per ton scale on the vertical. And then we have the feedstock and the raw materials, which are much more decisive. So the message here is clear. You can save maybe a slight amount of money over a 10-year horizon by getting some other equipment, but you will pay for it every day of operation for the duration of the plant life. And the OPEX is going to eat up any CapEx advantage very, very fast. So this is an example of what we can do. We make sure that you get the right separator. Maybe it's a 750 PureFirm. Maybe it's a different separator. We have the widest program, so we will make sure that you get the proper equipment. With this, I will ask Yikeng to come up here just to say a few words about what we do in Southeast Asia. I'm going to step to the left.
Thank you, Helge. So very good morning. My name is Helge, and as the head of Energy Division Southeast Asia Alfa Laval, I will share a bit of a local flavor of what we do before wrapping it up, right, Helge? And you know, Southeast Asia today we see a good momentum of bio-based industries, biomass valorization especially, and from Alfa Laval. Actually, a lot of our establishment outside of Singapore comes from that because there is a demand to serve our customers in the very same biomass production industries. For example, palm oil, latex in Malaysia, sugar, and tapioca starch in Thailand. So over the years, more than 55 years, we have expanded our footprint. We're now in most of Southeast Asia countries, and we cover, of course, the spectrum of industries from traditional energy to renewables. We have delivered a pool of very competent local engineering and service personnel. But to me, what matters most is having our footprint, our people here in this region, in every country, brings us a step closer to our customers. And by that, we are able to better know the local needs, each and every one. Service centers, I think Helge spoke about it. Thank you very much for those who have joined us in our Tuas flagship service center yesterday. And I know that you have seen how we demonstrated our service capability along with the bench test trial equipments, trial separators that we have in our region as well. And these are very important, especially for the starting stage of those projects. Along with our central colleagues, we will be there on board at the very beginning stage in your journey. To sum it up, I think our take is that from partnership to innovation is not a straight line. It requires a fair bit of technical depth, adaptability, and shared ambition. From Alfa Laval, I think we are most proud, to be able to stand by and support our customer, which is you, all right, along this journey to build a more sustainable bio-based future together. With that, thank you very much.
One final word from me, then I'll let you go on your break. So Francesco lost his voice, but we are on stand number 8, and maybe he's got an offer you cannot refuse.